Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review for Anime Month. Let me say the next anime review for Anime Month. Duh. Sorry, getting confused. I've been doing episode reviews back and forth. That's why. So, but anyway, back to the next anime review for Anime Month. And I was also curious about. Oh, this is also another anime I was kind of curious about a while ago. So. I gave it a try. I want to say, well, the thing is though, is this show is getting another season, so obviously I'll have to check that out when it comes up. But the first season, I just wasn't a fan of. I'm sure this series has a fan base and a lot of people like it, though. But I overall wasn't. Honestly, it's another harem anime, where another guy is with a whole bunch of girls, and it takes place in another fantasy world, but I mean the idea I like though, but the thing is though it was just I found it kind of a boring series honestly, and that is of in another world with my smartphone. So, as for the manga series, I've not read, though, but as for the anime series itself, released in 2017, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people like this series, though, because that's why it's also, because I heard recently, about a month ago or so, this is getting another season. Okay. I'll probably, even though wasn't a fan of the first season anyway. I'm probably curious to see how the way the series will go though. But thing is, I wasn't a fan of the first. I mean, in another world, my smartphone. Okay, the logistical plot is our lead guy here named Toya, which all of a sudden he just outright died because God, the God, killed him. How did he? Now, I've not read the manga, though, so maybe it explains how he did, but I haven't, so I can't say anything about that, though. But as for an anime series itself, though, how did he die? How did God kill him? To me, I didn't get no explanation for that, though. So, since God cannot revive him, he'll just revive him how his old life was, so he'll just bring him back, and he'll just put him in another world, basically. That's not of Earth. So, and before he does, he says, "Is there anything that you want?" Right? If there's anything while you're in this new world, is there anything that you want? Right? And our guy, which is actually the guy Toya, is actually voiced for the English dub. He's voiced by Josh Grill. Josh Grill, a voice actor I like. He voices King Satan in Devil's a Part-Timer. He later replaces Issei in the third season and fourth season in High School DD. I know I've heard of another. I heard about it in some other animes as well, but I know some more. He voices Issei in season 3 and 4 of High School DD, and he voices King Satan in Devil's a Part-Timer. I mean, I will say that both the Japanese and the English dub, they do a good job. I will give it that both the Japanese and the English dubs, the voices they do pretty good. So I'll give a positive for that. The animation, I would say I think it looks decent. That's all. I'll give it a positive. I'll say the animation looks pretty decent, especially when they're showing all the magical abilities. Right. The animation does a good job with its on those parts when they're showcasing the magic stuff. But anyway, I was saying, But if anything he could have wanted, he wants his smartphone. So, but his smartphone, it can work in this world, and to recharge it, can use magical energy to recharge it. and God can call him. I mean, the thing is though, in another world with my smartphone, for a title, yeah, okay, listen on that though. But for most of the whole series, I hardly see him. Well, like he will check out like stuff on his phone, like maybe news or something that's parts in this world, right? What probably use it like once in a blue moon, but a lot of times I hardly see him use his smartphone. That's the issue. You call it in another world with my smartphone, and yeah, sure, like the girls he's with, when they see his smartphone, it's like, oh, what is this? Okay, that's fascinating, like that, right? But a lot of times he doesn't hardly use his smartphone for for a show that has in the title, in another world with my smartphone. But the thing is, though, the problem is like our guy Toya, Josh Grill, who does the English voice, he does a good job though. Well, of course, give credit also to the Japanese voice up as well, though, right? But I think this Toya is a boring guy because not only gets to come back in this world along with his smartphone. God gives him such basically godlike powers. Basically, he's like he control like a lot of the elementals like earth, wind, fire, light, dark, water, all this stuff, right? And he basically has a power of he has a power of a god, basically, very powerful. And throughout this whole series, he basically never loses a fight. For what I saw, he doesn't lose. I mean, he's that powerful. I mean, he just defeats a whole lot of people very easily. Never even loses. I mean, it's. I know, like, at the point you don't want to see your main character, your hero, lose, right? Though, but I'm saying, but it's just like they just think they did made him way too powerful, and just. I mean, the fact that even Issei in High School DD, another big harem series, right? I mean. He has the power of the Red Dragon, the Sacred Gear, right? And, I mean, he's not invincible. I mean, he gets beaten up a lot. I mean, during the end of the first season, during that, that tournament fight, right? He gets beaten up so much, but he keeps bringing himself back up to that, was the character's name, Phoenix. To the point where Rias, said, enough's enough, it's okay, Or the point at the end of the third season where he loses control of his powers, becomes that full Juggernaut form of the Red Dragon form. Juggernaut form, I think it was. I mean, our guy Issei, he gets beaten up a lot, He does, we say in the first, he does lose, but from the first season did. But yeah, he doesn't win all the time. But here, it's just like, yeah, he's so powerful, he can just basically wins easily. I mean, for a guy who's like God basically made way too powerful, pretty much make it as powerful as him, basically. I mean, that kind of is like no fun in that, though, right? Like change things a bit differently, but anyway, moving on to like the girls that becomes part of his anime. The first girls he meets when he comes to this new world are these two twins here. One's the older twin named LZ, and then Lindsay. Sorry, I'm not to pronounce these names. Sorry. They're the first girls he meets. They're these twins like LZ, she's more of the fighter, fisticuffs, right? And Lindsay's more of the wizard type, right? She has controls of fire with fire, water, and light. I think honestly, I like those. I kind of like maybe say all these girls you say are bland, boring, whatever. Though, honestly, I was more interested in more in the girls more than our guy. Honestly, I mean the twins I liked, and even the next samurai girl that they meet is what was it? Yae. Yae, I think it was Yae. Yeah, who's a samurai girl. I mean, also points the visual voice the words like mumbling my words again, but what I'm trying to say is, like, all these other girls, including this one princess right here, I think they claim that she's only 12 years old, I think. I mean, granted, though, our lead guy is, like, about 15, I think. Maybe say that's not that big of a huge age gap, a 3-year difference, though. I mean, they're all young, they're all basically younger than, all the other girls are, like, younger than he is. But, well, what do you say, it's a harem series, so just roll with it, right? That's the thing. At least it wasn't other girls like the one I reviewed previously, We Without Wings. There wasn't like anyone that's like a little girl that's 8 years old. They can flash her panties out in public, you know. Oh, because she's in another country, she doesn't understand the words right, or how the way this wherever it was. That wasn't. And which that was supposed to be like another sort of harem series too, right? Because all these other girls. Well, the thing is though, with We Without Wings, each of the girls were from basically one of the same person because they had different personalities. That's the thing. And by the time it was kind of more of a plus We Without Wings had more of a serious towards the end, right? Because with the plot twist and everything, because all the personalities share the same body. And which I have my review of the one I did of We Without Wings though, but it wasn't all. That was supposed to be a comedy with I didn't think it was funny at all, especially But when it came, but I said though the ending I thought was pretty good though, because now it took more of a serious tone. We're dealing with our lead guy, well, the personalities and sort of what happened to him. So. But here, though, what else I could say about it? The worlds they go to, there was one, especially one that's basically a feudal era Japan, right? Where I think that's where our girl Ye is from, I think. Even the guy says, Toya says that's basically what guy got lazy and copy paste feudal era Japan, right? I'm like, yeah. And basically throughout the whole series, he gets basically his harem with all these girls, making his fiancés, and all this are just our lead guys. Basically he's so powerful he can defeat everybody easily, and well. Maybe I'm just putting too much thought into that though. I'm just calling it what I see though. But our lead guy Toya, he's not the best guy I've seen. Well, he was a boring guy. Okay, like I got my powers. Which I forgot to mention how when God told him that he died, he took his death pretty well. I was like, oh, I'm dead. Okay. He probably took his own death pretty well. It's like, he's like, oh my god, I'm really dead. Oh. And doesn't get mad at God for killing him, even though it was accidentally though. But I was like, why'd you do that? But he took his own death pretty well, I would say. But it's like, hey, I get to be in another world, and I get to have my smartphone with me, which like I say he probably hardly even uses, and throughout the whole series, yeah, like once in a blue moon he'll look things up, and even though the girls like say, oh, what is this piece of technology? There's other stuff like that they can. There's been other fantasy animes I thought were better, right? Overlord, that's a fantasy film series that I enjoyed. That's kind of like that. What else? Other fantasy stuff. Even Devil's a Part-Timer. I think was better. Is better than this, and that's the second season I'm actually looking forward to. But this is also getting a second season too, so I'm like, okay. But there's been other fantasy animes I've seen that I thought were better. I'm looks like Devil's a Part-Timer I thought was I highly enjoyed, of course. And of course, Inuyasha, that is no problem saying that's better than this. That's a no-brainer for me. Hell, even if we would talk about harem series, High School DD I think is better. Like I said, our lead guy, Issei, right? He's not invincible. He's not all that powerful. I mean, he gets beaten up a lot. He does occasionally lose, and time, like I said, he lost control once, became that juggernaut form because he couldn't control it. So I mean, Issei, it shows that he's a guy who's not perfect, but he does truly care about his friends too. But despite that, he wants to be a harem king too as well. But yeah. Yeah, so I didn't get too much into it though, because it's more like I say, each more episodes, like guy just wins and stuff like that, and he gets falls in love with all these other girls that fall in love with him. But I'll also say it does go by at a fast pace. I thought the episodes went through just like that though, so that's another positive I can say. So like positive I can say the voice acting, the animation, the pacing, and I have in mind a few. I mind a few of these girls here. Yay, the samurai, even the twins I liked. But for this for this kind of a series though, okay, maybe for the sake of it, I'll be curious to check out the second season, see how it goes. If it gets any worse, well, I'll probably rant on that too one day. So. But I wasn't a fan of In Another World with my smartphone though. For a smartphone, which be for most of this series, it isn't barely even used. So, hey, maybe he'll use more in the second season. Who knows? But yeah, In Another World with my smartphone wasn't my cup of tea. Like I said, I've seen harem / fantasy series. I thought were better. But this is just my opinion though. Like I said, everything is just only my opinion. If you're a fan of this series, be my guest. I'll say I hold nothing against who likes this series. So, and also that this is why it's not a full on rant. Like it's a small rant because it didn't get me mad. I wasn't pissed off about it. It wasn't. So. Yeah, that's why I usually when I do full rants, it's like I use the rant in big bold letters, capital letters. But if it's like a lowercase letter ones of the word, that's why it's not a full on rant because, like I said, it just wasn't my cup of tea basically. Yeah, so that's basically what it was. But anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next anime review, and we'll see y'all later.